I'm Claire, and I was born in Portsmouth in 1972.
Thank you.
I'm Keith, I was born in Brighton in 1937.
And I'm Raymond, and I was born in Brighton in 1932.
And I'm Wendy, and I was born in Crapstone in Devon in 1941.
And I'm Anne, and I was born in Shoreham in 1939.
Thank you very much. In
The
this,
old boy then.
so before I show you any of our bears, does anyone remember having a teddy bear when they were young?
Yes, I did. I had a teddy bear. He was only about so big, and he was 2 different colours, and he was called Honey. My honey bear. And I was very fond of him, and I don't know what happened to him.
Do you know where he
Sad to
came
say.
from?
I think he may, I don't know, I think he may have come from Egypt. Because my father was in Egypt during the war. That's how come we were down in Devon. And he was in Egypt, and he sent me a couple of things, and I think the teddy bear possibly came from him. I can't remember.
And did you play with the bear?
I must have done, yes, and took it to bed, I suppose, like children do. I presume I did, yes. And I was very sad because I don't know when it went. And I also had when my father came home from Egypt, must have been my 5th or 6th birthday, I had a squirrel. And my father had put it on wheels with a string, and I used to pull it along. What I didn't know was he bought the squirrel from a second-hand shop, and it was a real squirrel, being a stuffed, what do they call it?
Taxidermist.
Yeah.
Taxidermist. And it was in a glass dome, evidently, and my father had taken the glass dome off and put it on wheels. And I used to pull this little thing, and I didn't know till many, many years later that this is how I came by this squirrel that I thought the world of.
Did it change the way you felt about it when you found out?
No, I was much, much older. I was probably 16, 17 before I was told. Maybe even older than that, I don't know.
Did Squirrel have a name, or
I can't remember it having a name, no.
just Squirrel?
I did love that squirrel, and I used to pull it around on bits of string. Because in the war, just after the war, things, I mean, you might know, but you wouldn't, that toys were very hard to come by. And I had an auntie that had a doll sent to me from Germany, and it was black. A black doll.
Yeah,
yes.
right,
And that was China. Iona, I called her. And I don't know what happened to that either, unfortunately. And Gollywog, of course, you know, most children had, but I don't think they're allowed now, are they?
No.
Gollywog.
Officially, no.
Not officially, no. Silly, isn't it, really?
It is, yeah.
That is because...
Did anybody else have a teddy bear? Anybody else have a teddy bear?
I've got
No,
Rupert
not as a
Brooke.
youngster.
He's a teddy.
Oh,
I've got Rupert Brooke.
Oh,
He's
Rupert.
a teddy.
Oh yes, I had a Rupert teddy.
yes, I have Rupert books.
He used to change colour over the years because my mother used to knit him a fresh coat or fresh skin. And I remember it particularly as being quite a dark brown. And then had another one to go with him. I have no idea where they came from, of course. And that one was just normal teddy colour, and that was Little Ted. course, this is wartime, or just after the war, and we lived in a two-storey house, and one of my games that I can always remember that was making up a parachute, a big handkerchief, and tying Ted and throwing him out the window. It never worked, of course, because he was too heavy, but little Ted did a bit better than big Ted. What happened to them afterwards, I have absolutely no idea. I think my mother disposed of most of my toys when I grew out of them.
So were they knitted, these bears?
The bears were actual sort of whatever you make bears out of, with the fur and all the rest of it, but that obviously wore, and the sort of second skin that was put on the top of was definitely knitted. Because one of the things my mother could do, of course, was knit. She knitted all kinds of things. And, Big Ted, Rupert, got a new coat every so often.
Anyone else about bears?
I've got a lot of bears now. My wife is in my bedroom. I mean, we've got one big one sits on the side. I mean, and, we've got a polar bear on that end of the bedroom, and there's a honey bear.
Oh, a
there.
honey bear.
A honey bear, yes. And also there's another bear. I don't know what that one is. You know, they're sitting all along the back of the room, of the bed. You know. But you know, but the big bear was a very. I mean, when I lost my wife, that bear was a big comfort to me. To be quite honest with you, I used to go to bed with me at night. You know, well, in that, you know, this is the thing, and it was a big comfort to me. That bear, yeah. We'd had them for years. I mean, they were my children's bears. You know, that's it originally. You know, that's it. Yeah, but yeah. That's my experience with bears. You know.
Did they have names?
Yeah.
Did you name them, or
Pardon?
did you name them?
No. Well, the big one we call Big Ed. That's it. Big Ed. That's it. It's always been Big Ed.
Did you want to say something about bears? You look like you did.
Well, I had a big bear as well. My auntie and uncle gave my parents a big bear before I was born, so there's the whole joke that he was older than me, because he was sitting waiting in my cot when I was born, and it was one of those old-fashioned, not that soft kind of bears, with the proper jointed arms and legs where there's cotton strung through, so that they actually move.
That's right.
You know, so it's kind of, and it was stitching up the front and the back, and then it had something inside, so if you tipped it over, it would make a sort of growling kind of sound. And there's loads of photos of me because I was quite small when I was born, so I was probably like that big, with this big bear that was about twice the size. And I've still got Big Bear. Got a bit dusty now. And my children actually got given big bears by the same auntie and uncle, actually. So it's quite interesting, and they love their big bears too, so it's kind of carrying on a bit of a family tradition.
Yeah.
Did you play with him?
I dressed the bear up, I did doctors and nurses, I did bandages, I did nappies and dresses, and in a cot and in a little buggy, pushing a little buggy along the whole works. Yes.
So I always think that's interesting with bears, is some people play with them, but a lot of people we've spoken to, they're just there and they sleep with them and they're a comfort and they're something to cuddle, but they didn't really play with them. So I think it's always interesting to know. Do you want to see the ones we brought along? We have a selection of bears.
I bet, yeah.
City.
My next door neighbour, Maxley,
I've got one of those hanging up in the bedroom, one of the small ones hanging up over the mirror, over the dressing table mirror, yeah.
Yes, this one. I think my honey bears did too.
Yeah.
Go round that. you know, be able to move them.
Very solid.
Yes, I'm sure I had one of these as well. It's just the same sort of knitting.
All that sort of
It's a
handmade.
heavy one.
Yeah.
Oh, the hippo.
So my next door neighbour makes these now. Yes, very specialised making these
Yeah.
things, and they cost an awful lot of
Yeah,
money.
obviously
to
lost
buy
an
them.
eye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like my Clive's. I've got Clive's teddy bear still, and it's above, on the shelf above my bed.
Yeah, that one there in the pyjamas is called Gustav.
Good
Good
stuff.
stuff.
Yes, he's about 100 years old, Gustav.
He's 100, you see.
Yeah, he's
Where did he come from? Germany?
Yes, he's a German bear.
Because they were the bears, weren't they, years
Yeah.
ago, the Germans, yeah.
They were, I think he's 1920, so he's not quite 100.
Which one's he?
And I think he used to have a growler, not
Oh, yeah,
working
did
anymore.
they?
But
Yeah, and
Oh,
just
yeah,
tip
they used to
them.
have growlers, didn't they?
They used to have what?
The growlers, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
You
yes.
tip them up,
Is that what
yeah.
they're called? Growlers?
Yeah.
Growlers, yeah.
I nearly brought one along, but the one we've got sounds more like a sheep.
Yeah.
Mine sounded like a sheep. It was a bit of a sound. This one looks very old as well.
What was that?
Oh, no. This one's pretty old too, isn't it?
Yeah, 50s that one, handmade. 1950s.
Oh, not so
Yeah,
old.
but it's handmade. It's made by someone's mother. Which is why if you look, his eyes were a bit lopsided.
Turns round. His head turns round.
Yeah. Have you had that one?
No.
Oh, sooty.
Sooty, yeah. Yeah.
Sooty and sweet.
That's
wasn't it?
right, yeah, sooty and sweet, yeah.
Quite like being here. Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? It's sooty. Isn't he sweet? Sooty.
You can pop them on the table. They like to be in the video?
Sooty white, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Sooty was white, wasn't it? And sweet.
No,
The sooty is sweet.
no, sooty was that colour.
Yeah, sweep I think is sort of grey and black, isn't
Yeah.
he?
I don't really remember.
And then Sue was a
white
panda.
as well,
Yeah.
He wasn't white and black. So he
Yeah.
wasn't he, Sooty, because he was a panda, he wasn't he, a panda? Not a, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the panda?
Sooty,
Was he?
yes.
No.
That's what-
Sue was a panda.
Huh?
Sue was a panda, definitely.
Susie was a panda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, well.
I thought,
I think Sooty was a bear, that like just like that. Because he's got Sooty there.
yeah.
Child toys.
I know my son used to watch Sooty and Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
As a hippo.
That is a hippo.
Yes.
Not gonna have it, that one, I don't.
What's quite interesting is sometimes when we've been saying to people, did you have a teddy bear? They've been saying things like, yes, I had a lion.
Oh, yeah.
Or, yes, I had a hippo. As if teddy bears are sort of term for just a cuddly toy that you used to
Yeah.
take to bed with you when you were a child. So that's one of the reasons for bringing the hippo.
I think the cuddly toy term hasn't been invented now. We just, everything was called
Like
a
a
bear.
sock.
A bear,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like a piece of wool when you
But seeing that, I'm sure I remember those.
yeah. Where you end up a sock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the tail. We like the hippos, didn't we?
Pardon?
We like the hippos, didn't we? When we went to that,
Were you talking about black dolls? My daughter, she had a black doll, Boko. Do you remember when the twins were born, the dark twins? We had a lot of advertising, it was on radio and everything, wasn't it? Yeah. There were twins, it was Boko and I forget what the other one's name was, but she had Boko, this doll, and she worshipped that doll. It's amazing, yeah. Well, I think she's still got it, I think she's still got it, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a black doll, it was China.
Yeah, there's a China,
yeah.
And I think it was German, I'm sure it was from Germany. Either that was or the other one, the white one that I thought was so beautiful, Iona.
So what was Iona like?
She was white.
But so she was she a baby or
Pardon?
were your dolls babies?
Not really, not like today's babies are. I mean, they make dolls looking like babies,
Yeah.
don't they? But no, it wasn't like a baby, it wasn't like a human
They
baby.
feed them now, don't they? They feed them now, don't they?
They feed them, they
Oh,
wet
well,
them, they
now
do
they-
everything.
yeah.
don't
Yeah, wet.
Yeah,
Feed them one end and it comes out the other thing.
yeah.
And my daughter Boko was always in her doll's pram, pushing her up and down the roads, you know. Amazing, yeah.
Did you have a teddy, Anne, or?
No, I was never into dolls.
No?
No. I did, although I was saying that, I did have a China doll when I was very young, but I never used to play with it, you know. And then they bought me a doll, a walkie-talkie doll with a clam,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
and I wouldn't play with that, and they, you know, sold it. Yeah, I was never into dolls.
Who bought them for you?
My parents.
Your parents bought, yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it about dolls that you didn't like?
I don't know, I just never did. I was never into dolls. I prefer climbing trees and things like that.
What about anyone else? Did anyone else have dolls or play with dolls?
Dolls just didn't feature. Boys didn't have dolls. That was for the girls, they pushed their prams around. We seem dead for a doll. Consequently, they were never given to us or bought for us or anything like that. It just never occurred, really. It's all... We had the teddy bears and things like that. It soon got on to all the other kinds of toys that you get for boys.
Well, I'm going to pass some dolls round anyway.
And
See what we can find.
I had one like that. Well, Auntie Ruby.
Now, depending on how you feel about dolls, you may or may not like some of these.
I don't mind them as long as their eyes are there.
Yeah, they pink, don't they?
Yeah, always move, yeah.
Does it make a noise? Not that one. That one's got a hole in. Has that one got a hole in her back?
Yeah.
It's a fixing hole. It's a doll's hospital. If you need to put your hand inside to get to the strings.
Oh, I remember the doll's hospital.
Of
That
course,
used to
later
be down,
life,
right down North Road, didn't it?
Trafalgar Street.
Trafalgar Street, was it? Right down. Oh, I remember that.
Frying mechanism in it.
Well, in later life, the connection with dolls, of course,
I remember going there to
some
have
wives
an eye
were into
fix.
knitting things and knitting clothes for dolls. Other things, and that's the closest I've ever got.
Ah, actually,
Every day.
Yes, that's the sort of thing. Oh yes, we've got some of those.
Imagine Mary probably.
Dear me,
It's very much the crafty adults group here, and quite a lot of them do dolls' clothes and dress up dolls for various reasons.
I can't get over how cold it's freezing.
That's because it's China, that one. That's why it's so cold. Yeah.
And that's old, isn't
Well, I had a China doll, its head was, it was bigger,
it? Yes, I had
but
a
I
China
never used
doll.
to play with it.
I had a plastic,
I don't
just a
know
normal
what
plastic
happened to
doll
it.
with jointed arms and legs. And my grandmother knitted full
Oh,
sets
yeah.
of clothes
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
wear
we
socks.
used to have
Similar
it.
to that.
Yeah, we used to
I
have
should have kept it really, I didn't keep it.
it.
No, I
I'm a
suppose
bit bad about that now.
the nearest to dolls that boys came was Action Man. And I didn't have one, but my friends did, and we used to sort of play with them a bit and dress them up and so on. But I didn't think of that as a doll. That was Action Man.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that was more like my China doll, its eyes used to open and shut like that.
That is more like a baby, isn't it?
On top of my wardrobe, well, I haven't had it down for a long time, but
Oh, yes.
it's still in its box as a clown.
Yeah.
This is the thing. And I mean, that was my boys, I think, you know, this is it years ago, but it's still up there in the box on top of the wardrobe.
Yeah. You used to be able to sit them up, didn't you?
So you were saying about knitting clothes for dolls. I think one of the things we're passing round is knitting
Well,
patterns.
so I've got several of those at home.
Yeah, just something
Even
to
up to
cover.
fairly recently, they've been
Oh,
knitting various outfits. They knitted. Oh, I think that's right. Somebody gave them some. I think it was bears, and they got patterns in, knitted clothes and dressed them, and sold them at the 50+ event last year. I think that was.
No.
that was
And
quite
people have
late.
asked for them because they wanted them, and so they knitted the clothes for them.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real baby, that one, isn't
It
it?
is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Slightly squashy.
Yes. Yeah, China head, but fabric body, that one.
Yeah.
And that's about the same sort of age as Gustav the Bear. So that's our old one. About 1910, that doll.
Mary quite comes really.
That's our racketing bubble, that doll. So I'm going to send Action Man round. You were just saying that you played with Action Men, but you wouldn't have called Action Man a
Now
doll.
that's interesting. You just took him and passed him to me. The doll you took hold of and gave it a good examination.
If it had been a Cindy
Now,
doll,
that
then
must
I
say
would have had
something.
something to say.
You've got one coming.
Have you?
So Action Men, not dolls then.
Never thought of them as a doll.
They are.
Strange.
I haven't looked at those.
Compartmentalise these
I haven't
things.
looked at them
I
yet.
mean, I pretend it's a doll,
Yeah.
but their own definite place. Cindy doll or something.
Yes. I had
It was an interesting rose.
Oh, weren't you? I had the stables in the house.
I think the trouble is, by the time these things came out, we were too old for them really anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know when they...
Well, my children were
Have
small.
we a
then.
date on when Action Men?
Action Men,
The bag doll.
60s?
Mid-60s, I would say, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Past us.
Probably about the same time as Cindy, isn't it?
Because I
Yeah.
think
God, I can remember 5 having
I think my sort of connection with Action Man would be with the nieces and nephews, because they had them. They had lots of them. Of course, when we visited them, I had to dress them and undress them and put their diving gear on them and various armaments and so on. So, I suppose if they were
And the
playing
boots
when I
come
was
off.
that age,
Boots come off,
probably
yeah. Yeah. You used to take all their clothes off when my kids were small and had them. You used to be able to undress them and dress them, yeah?
Yeah?
You used to be able to undress them and dress them.
Yes, I know. You are.
Yeah. I've got two.
Has this one
That's
gone
quite
that way?
Yes.
Look at
I'll
that.
have to, yeah.
Quite
Sit
heavy.
on the table, man.
Ragdoll, yeah.
Oh, look at this. Is seersucker they called that, didn't
Yes.
they? Do you remember that?
Yes.
That material, seersucker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The hands moved, the arms moved, yeah.
Because it's like we were saying earlier, you see, our era, I mean, just before the war and during the war years, I mean, it was a depression, wasn't it? I mean, your parents couldn't afford to buy you toys, ultimate toys, you know, anything, could they? You see, and during the war you couldn't get them.
That's
You
right.
see, this is the thing, I mean, and as I said earlier, I mean, I was an evacuee in the Yorkshire, that, before, during the war, but before the war, I mean, when we lived in Brighton, I mean, we had virtually nothing, this is the thing. I mean, and so if we did enjoy it, we used to make bows and arrows, catapults, to make our own enjoyment, didn't we, you see, this is the thing.
one thing that I've just thought of, my father used to make for me, because he couldn't afford to buy them. And I don't know if you've got one in your box, and that's almost a doll. It was a little H-section thing with a doll hung on it, and you squeezed it, and it...
Oh,
Yes, that's what you
Yes.
did. Yes,
did
somersaults. Somersaults, yeah.
And I remember my father made me several of those.
Yeah.
oh, well, it's very
Well,
clever.
those, just because of
Yeah.
the fun of getting it to work.
We had this one.
No.
But again, it's a homemade song.
Yes.
So many of the things we had then.
Well, it was on two
homemade.
posts, wasn't it? And you used
Yeah,
to
two
press
posts,
the
you
bottom.
squeezed it like this,
Press the
and it
bottom.
used to
Bogies.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Memories.
Very fashionable.
Did either of you have sisters that had dolls or not?
Huh?
Did you have sisters?
I had 6 sisters,
All right.
and there were 6 brothers, and I'm the eldest. We had large families, yeah. We had large families. Yeah, but, oh yeah.
I could hardly cope with one.
How my mum used to cope, I don't know, but they did, didn't they? And this
I
is
don't
it.
know that. And they didn't have washing machines. And things
No,
like
no
that,
washing
did
machines,
they?
no.
And the nappies had to be washed.
Oh yeah, when you boil them on a, didn't they?
In
You
the
see,
copper,
didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Well, even when my son was on 53 now, but even there weren't the throwaway nappies in his
Oh
time.
no, yeah,
They were
no.
just coming in, but
Must-
they were out
must-
of my budget. I couldn't afford them. They were quite expensive. And we must have terry toweling.
That-
You used to take them off and wash them.
That's right, yeah. Oh yeah.
Now it's a lot different today. They don't know they're born.
Wow.
Did you remember your sisters having dolls or not? Your sisters?
Not
Do you remember them having dolls?
No, but being older, you see, and unfortunately the thing was, I was evacuated. You see, the 3 eldest were evacuated. You see, and this is the thing. When you came back, you had a lot of brothers and sisters that you didn't even know, you know, you had to learn to know them again, you know, different family. And, always, and being the eldest, you don't, you know, take notice of those things much, you know, really. I mean, I expect they obviously did have dolls and whatever, you know, but...
You don't remember?
I don't remember, no.
You were away for?
5 years.
Were you?
Yes, yeah, we went right at the beginning, and then didn't come back till after the Japanese war ended, you know, this is it, no.
Dreadful.
What was that, from London?
No,
from here.
from
Oh,
Brighton,
from here?
because in the beginning they
Right.
evacuated us from here because they sort of invasion, didn't they,
Yeah,
from France
yeah.
to the coast, didn't they, Sussex coast?
yes.
So they shipped us all up into
I
Yorkshire
think
and
they
Dorsetshire
wouldn't let
and
me
all
be
up that way, you
taken
see.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me be taken away.
They wouldn't, no.
No.
Yeah. But no, that was the reason why. And of course, then when they put bombing London, then they brought the Londoners down here, didn't they?
Yeah.
They never brought us back. You see, that was the thing.
No, my
Yeah.
husband was evacuated from London. Him and Mabel and Jean were evacuated from
Oh, were
London
they?
when they were children.
Oh yeah, because that video,
They
Mr.
lived in
Tom,
Catford.
that always reminds me of me because that boy, that lumberjacket, cord lumberjacket, that's what I had. And I went with, and I was dressed like that, you know, this is the issue. Yeah. You went up there.
Very traumatic.
Oh dear me, well you cried your eyes out, didn't you? You know, this is it
Yes.
when you were, you know, first with
Must
somebody
be
else.
dreadful.
And then when you came back, I mean, I cried my eyes out again, even though I was, you know, nearly 14. And I mean, the point is I cried my eyes out then because I've been brought up as a one-parent child, hadn't I?
Yeah.
You see, this is the thing. You come back into a family, you know, it's totally different. Yeah.
Do you remember those balloons, those big balloons?
Oh, the barrage balloons, yeah, the barrage
And do you
balloons.
remember when all that silver paper came down in the streets?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we used to run up and down to collecting that. It was
Yeah.
good for Christmas.
What was that? Yeah. All that silver paper.
Silver
that foil.
streamers, they used to
Yeah, silver
drop them to
strips
try
and
and
things.
sell
They were
radio.
all over the
Yeah.
pavements and
As kids, we
everywhere.
just ran up the downs and collected it all and used it for Christmas decorations. It was quite good, actually.
Yeah.
Nice long strips of silver paper.
Yeah.
Well, it was to interfere with the
Interfere with radar.
radio
Radar.
communications and the
The
radar.
silver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they used to fly over and just drop
Yeah.
it everywhere. It was like rain coming down, snow, everything and stuff. We'd go and I think what they did, they flew over and
They
did
dropped-
that before a raid was coming, so it messed up the radio.
And they dropped the bomb, didn't they? Bobby
Yeah, we just went up the downs and collected it afterwards.
It landed between a wall and a tree and stopped the clock. And everybody went to church for Thanksgiving. Because it didn't go off, this bomb. Yeah.
She's very pretty, that
Yes,
one.
yes, because she
Isn't
wasn't
she?
She's
Oh,
very
she
pretty,
can
yeah.
move up.
Oh, moves ahead.
Lift her head up. Oh, she's pretty, she is.
do all right.
Yes, I'll have that one. She's sweet. Yes, we're getting off the,
That's all right.
Oh.
getting away from,
Talking about the war days.
yeah.
The other thing I've got is I've got a few construction toys. Now, it's up to you whether you want me to do these now or whether you want a quick break and then we'll think about construction toys. Are you happy to keep going or?
Quite nice to keep going.
Okay.
Instead of, when you've finished and you've got them all up there, I'd like to take a picture as well.
Absolutely.
I was going to say the same for the capture.
And we didn't bring everything.
Just so happen to have a camera.
We just happen to have a camera as well. We bought it all range. So actually, before I pass them round, what do people remember themselves about construction toys?
Meccano.
Meccano.
Meccano
Yeah.
was the thing. It took me a long time to persuade my parents to buy me some because they said that I'd never cope with it.
And then after that,
And,
yeah.
It was his.
And then it
I
changed
think
the leg
what
up,
they
didn't it?
were
Oh,
getting
yeah,
at was
but not
quite
so
right. I was
easy.
quite happy to build old things, but I couldn't be bothered to take them apart and put it all back in the box.
Well, I used to have all those little
Oh,
Nuts. You have to have another screwdriver.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
yes.
As you've mentioned,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, we always used to make a crane, didn't we?
yes,
Yes, I made it.
and yes, it works.
That's right.
You can turn the handle.
Yeah.
It should work.
Yeah. I used to like making those up.
Yes, and it goes up and down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The string. Yeah.
Yes, that's a bit more sophisticated.
Amazing, isn't it? I
With
wonder.
ropes and pulleys and
I
gear
wonder
wheels and
how
things.
old the person was when that was made.
Well, I should think probably about
And this is a
50.
posh one, this is a silver one. Ours is green and red.
That's right.
Right,
Green.
Yes, the green and
I
red.
think nearly 50.
That's a very
maybe.
posh one.
I was going to say, that's a newer one. We have got some green and red Meccano, and I nearly brought it with me, but it's just all in bits.
Oh,
So we thought we'd bring an actual model.
oh,
So that's slightly more modern.
yes,
that
because you've
one.
got different
You're going to make
boxes
it up for
and
next
different
time,
kits.
aren't you?
I did manage to get
Oh, yeah, did you spend hours on
Hours, yeah.
gear
to
to
keep us
Now
quiet?
it's go like that, the television or Bluetooth.
Chain.
Oh, I know, that's
don't
the
they?
trouble, isn't it?
And I think
As
No.
a
it's such
whole.
a shame.
Because it was occupying you, making, getting you
Right,
ready
it
for
was,
when you grew up and went to work, wasn't it? Things like that, you were making things,
Yes.
that's it, yeah.
If you've got a spring there, and you? Yeah.
And you had to work it all out,
That's
didn't you?
right.
Get the right pieces.
Yeah. You've got the cable through there, look.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why some we older folks can cope with things
Isn't
that
it take one
IKEA
day?
sells.
Yeah.
They used to come with books of instructions of how to assemble these.
Did you
Same
read
one
the
to-
instructions?
When you read, oh yes, read the instructions.
Followed it?
But that's it, that's the thing.
Ah,
This isn't actually the book of instructions. This is a book of
That's a catalogue.
models you can build
Yes.
with Meccano outfit C, Meccano outfit B. Because as I'm sure you remember, it came in different.
Yes, I can remember that.
Because this Meccano's still made now.
Yes.
And they do kind of plastic versions and Technic versions and
Yeah.
cogs and all sorts of gears and all sorts. It's got really complicated.
Oh, I made that one. Yes, I definitely remember making that one.
Which one's that?
Gamblers, didn't we?
does it?
Eh?
That one.
We used to
Okay.
get
Oh,
the
yes.
car now at Gamblers, didn't
I
we?
particularly like making those. That's good.
That's been gone quite a while, isn't it?
Didn't do the aircraft.
Yes.
Strange.
Well, you got the, what do they call it?
Airfix?
Airfix.
Oh,
Yeah.
come to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Still a little shop down
Oh, that
Sackville
one.
Road under the bridge.
Yeah.
Is that one gone from West Street?
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that?
Model
Has it
shop,
gone?
yeah.
That's the only one I know that's open, that one.
Used to
that's
go down there to
Sackville
get
Road.
planes.
Yeah,
The balsa wood.
It was
Yeah,
When I was
see
sitting
what
in my
years ago.
father
Yeah.
to take me down there.
No, I didn't do the animals.
Good Lord.
I used Lego. Was Lego around in this era?
No.
Lego
Is it
things.
relatively modern?
No, because
Yes,
plastic
that's the gear
wasn't
set up.
around.
Yeah, I remember those gears.
We didn't have plastic.
Gears and change.
Stickle bricks.
Oh, I had one of those too. The motor. Wind up. That was a prized possession in those days. Oh, you were really upmarketing. You got one of the
Bayonets.
Yeah.
Really upmarket, you got which one?
One of the motors, the Meccano
Oh,
motor.
dear me, yeah.
Yes,
I never
that
had
was
one of those.
expensive.
We
Save
got
up
a
for
motor,
that.
you know, a motor
Oh, no, I
with the
don't think I
Meccano.
did, I.
You know, this
No.
is it, to make the operation.
When you say expensive, do you remember how much roughly they were?
probably 2 and sixpence or something like
Yeah.
that. No, I expect
It's expensive in
I'm
those days.
very rough guess at probably about
5.
5 or 10 shillings or something like that, which was a lot.
Which was a lot, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Depending
How
on what
much-
you
To put it into context, how much pocket money did you get at that point?
Probably about 10 pence a week or something like that.
Yeah,
Old pence.
yeah.
Turns out might have got a shilling in it, hasn't it? I can remember that some of the dinky toys that I wanted were 1 and sixpence each. And that's, you know, I had to save up for that.
Yeah.
That was the other thing, of course, that we had a lot of as kids with dinky
in the
toys.
shape, isn't it?
I've still got quite a
got
lot
one of those
actually.
extra.
I've got them in a cabinet and all
It was unfortunate in some ways. My mother was very good. She was very good at recycling long before the work was ever thought of. And as soon as I finished with something, it got given to somebody else and used it.
Yeah.
All of my dinky
If only
things
we'd
were
kept
done.
those things.
So did you all have Meccano?
Sorry?
Did you all have Meccano?
I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
my children, my boys had.
Yes, but that was new. But when you were
I think dinky toys,
long time ago,
Meccano,
did you
were
have
probably
Meccano?
the stock toys for kids. Though.
Yeah,
Plus,
I
I also
did.
had the little
Yeah.
sort of
I
model
know.
I
farms.
had it.
John Gavin did that
Model
for
cows
20
and that sort
years
of
ago.
thing.
Yeah, but that's not
Sometimes
long,
a
is
few
it?
tin soldiers.
That's not long ago.
Yeah.
No, in fact, one
The
goes back.
Staples have gone rusty, look. The Staples have gone rusty.
So you were saying over here that you did have Meccano. Was it normal for girls to have Meccano?
I think either go, yes. I believe mine was my cousin's actually. I think it was handed down. So it was my cousin, being a male, and I think that's where it came from. His, his Meccano, because I had his train set as well. Hornby, was it?
Yeah.
Hornby train set.
The old clockwork train set that you wind him up.
Yes,
Yeah.
one of those
Yeah, we had one.
trains. They're all clockwork.
And
not,
they used to fall off, didn't they? Fall off the rail.
Yes. You had a tight circle.
That's
of
right.
one of these wind-up trains. And if you could get it going really fast enough, it would fall
Watch
off.
them go round
Or if the
and
joints
round
came
and
apart.
Yeah.
They have them laid out on a big table now, don't they? You know.
They were really something if you had one, weren't they?
I
You
don't
know,
remember.
the thing. Oh dear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I only remember getting Meccano for John and Gary. And then I used to build it then with them, you
I
know.
never had the electric trains. That was always far too expensive. But the wind-up ones.
Yeah.
The plane there. And we did have one of these books.
Did you?
Yeah.
So when people made things out of Meccano, did you used to follow the instructions?
Yeah.
And
I
do
think
what they
you had
told
to.
you to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Majority
think
of
They
it
all
all.
came with
Yeah.
instructions.
Yeah.
The
It's just
instructions.
like that.
I think, difficult to remember, but I don't think we did much of sort of developing our own ideas. I think we did more,
Yeah.
we made a specific item that,
Yes.
where the instructions came in the box.
Yeah.
I suppose we did.
Well, you used to make it up.
Make up
Like,
odd
doing
things.
things your own, making your own bits and pieces up, didn't you, out of them, trying to...
But very, very much in those days, you had to follow the rules.
Yeah.
And if you
You
didn't
had to
follow the
what,
rules,
sorry?
you weren't doing
Follow
it
the
right.
rules, the regulation,
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very much, that's what it says, so you've got to do it that way. You can't
Yeah,
put
yeah,
them up the ball the other way around, you must do it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it says in the book.
Yeah.
Other couple of bits I brought along.
Yeah, we did go.
Those actually to take you backwards,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Have some building bricks.
Oh my goodness.
That immediately reminded me of plasticine, because that's the other thing we used to have.
That's the thing, 5 stones.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was on my mind then, 5 stones, yeah.
I was going to say, that reminded me.
That's what I thought, that was an old lot of 5 stones.
Yeah.
I thought they were the clay 5 stones as well.
Yes.
I thought
You threw them up and then caught them on the back of your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, jacks.
Catch it.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
that was... I don't
Jacks
think
and
you- I
five
don't think
stones.
you managed
Yeah.
to catch these, but...
Now it's called Play-Doh, isn't it?
Yes. You can still get,
Yeah.
You can
because
take
I
that.
saw it at the hospital yesterday, Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I had all this as well.
Yes, thank you. Are you happy doing the film? Oh, yes, fine. We'll get you to fill in a form later. I've just washed my hair, yes.
No, I don't remember these. I remember those.
Oh, yes, I can remember these, yeah.
I have to say, where
Who's
is
really
the golly
shuffle
wog?
around?
Where's the golly wog?
That's where I sit down.
You haven't got a golly wog on.
No.
No, Bollywood.
That's a shame. That was my favourite toy when I was younger. And then some very bigoted people suddenly thought,
Have a
oh,
look
it
at the
looks,
thing we've got.
perhaps you can't
Right.
say that. So for all the
Okay,
normal people who just thought, oh, it's a lovely toy,
It was taken out of circulation.
just to fill you in on where we've got to,
sorry.
That's
sorry.
all right.
Yes.
That's okay. We've had a look at teddy bears, we've had a look at dolls, and feel free in a minute to look yourself. But we're just thinking about construction toys. We've just been talking about Meccano,
Oh, yes.
Bricks, I remember.
and we're just having a look at bricks. Did anyone have bricks?
Yeah.
Yes, not
Yeah.
that sort.
Lego.
Cruise nut, right?
No, not
Yes,
Used
something
to
like
think those were cruise nuts around shapes like
that.
So, pot of Lego. So what sort of bricks did you have?
Can't remember what they were made of, but they were little sort of brick-shaped bricks, the same proportion as bricks, and you just laid them down, brick things, they all fell down, of course, didn't stick together.
they could fit into a child. How a child these days, so
I seem to remember
Yeah.
huge coloured square blocks,
Five stones, yeah.
build things out.
We used to throw them up and catch them on the back of their hand.
that's right.
And then you throw it up and catch one.
Yes.
Then you got the next one that came along where they were like little
This is
little
going to be an interesting
square
one.
things, weren't they? You know, not squares, but they're little metal things. You know,
Yes,
came
they were like a
with-
little cross.
like a little cross with
Yes, with
Jacks.
little balls in
Jacks.
the end.
yeah.
Do these go in this bag?
I am.
No, not those. No,
No,
they're
that's
separate.
right.
Yeah, those.
Ah, yes, I remember that.
I was about to
Yes,
say,
I had one of those.
now, what I'm going to say, if anyone wants to break for a cup of tea in a minute, if anyone actually wants to have a go, then I will definitely be leaving this on the table. Does anyone remember Bako?
Baco.
If you've never met Bako,
I think that's probably some of the things I was thinking.
I think it might be.
Yes, the Baker building set.
Yeah.
So this is pre-Lego.
It's pre-Lego. Bako is sort of like 1930s onwards.
Walls and doors and windows and all sorts.
And little metal box. If you look in that little green box,
Has one gone in that bag?
Might have. Did one go in the bag?
I don't know.
So I took it out.
What's that? There it is. It is in the bag, yeah. They were made 100 years ago. The zips.
This must be a later
When you
one.
had that this afternoon.
We started with the base, don't we, and then it built up from the base.
Yeah.
I can definitely
Yeah.
Little metal rods, and then you slide the walls onto the
Yeah,
rods.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, yeah. I thought there were 4 of them.
That was me, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I wonder if it was more a boys thing.
What, Baco?
Yes.
More boys thing.
I think it's probably anybody's really.
Yeah, anybody's really.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember.
Well, I used to play with it, but I think I must have played with it with my children when they were very small. That's the thing. And so you worked with them and you built it up with them, didn't you? That's what you were doing, wasn't it? Yeah.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember this? No, I don't.
No.
No.
What year was that?
Baco, 30s, 40s,
Oh, yes, yeah.
No?
mainly.
I remember something like this.
Well, I think the ones that
Doors. Garage
Probably.
doors, yeah.
the early ones for that,
No, I
because I
don't
don't
remember
remember
that.
the.
The metal beds.
That was probably later versions of it. But I definitely remember
Guns and engineers.
some things out of those.
Right.
Liverpool.
But it must have been in the 50s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was around
Yeah, in the
then.
50s.
Yeah, I was interviewing
That's
someone the
probably-
other day who I think was born in 47, and she played with Baco a lot when she was young.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, probably more. And as you were saying, so like if you're thinking about 40s and toys weren't being manufactured during the war, so you wouldn't have had it being produced then. So I think it might have been produced a little bit before, but then obviously war halted toy production.
I think I was
Actually,
out
from
of
Liverpool,
toys
this Baco.
at the time, probably the time I got to 12, 13. And then of course it was things like, I went into the ATC, the air cadets and so on, you were dealing with real things then, not toys.
That's 100 years old, Len.
Oh yeah. That's good
Catching
stuff.
up with the bears.
Yeah.
Goodness me. Has it been repaired or anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
It doesn't look like it. That's amazing to be in that condition for a
I've only owned him for a few weeks, so I don't know his whole history.
Was that after or before the Steffi bears?
Striped bears, it's roughly the same, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm looking at you as if you're a stripe expert.
I'm not a Stife expert, but I do know that Stife has been going for roughly 100 years. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's about 1900,
Yeah.
1910. So he's 1920s. So yeah, same sort of period.
Yeah.
That must have belonged to a girl. and that-
Yes, 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 yeah.
I'm going to hand round. Right, someone did just mention Lego. So have a pot of Lego. Yeah, now I know Lego wasn't around for a lot of you.
After my time.
Yes, indeed.
Very clever now.
Well, what we'll do in a minute is we'll go and make some more tea or whatever, and people can actually play with some of them if they want. I think especially the construction ones, you don't necessarily just want to be passing them round.
Oh, well, that's got to be done with some more robots, hasn't it?
There's no one I see got really on the floor when the airfix ones.
Yeah.
They were after my time. I mean, I was sort of a young adult at the time they came in. But from probably 12, 13, I was making model aircraft out of Bolswood.
Yeah,
And I remember we used to go to the shop that sold this. I can't remember what they were called. They were in the lanes. If you went in the first entrance to the lanes in North Street, and just along there was a large shop. It was all model aircraft. so on. And you could either buy them as kits, or you bought the plans and the balsa wood, and you made them up yourself, and the paper and all the rest.
Yeah.
God, that sounds
I
hard
can't
work for a
remember for the
toy.
life of me what the name of the shop was, but it was the big aeromodelling shop.
And which did you used to do? Did you used to buy the kits, or did you used to buy the separate?
Did both. Sometimes I bought a plan, but mostly you buy a kit, and everything you wanted was in the kit. Then when you broke something, you had to go and buy some to repair it and so on. But I lived in Patcham because we were only a very short walk from the Downs, which is now a sort of building site. All sorts goes on up there now. But that was all open land, and we'd go up there to fly them. The other place we'd go to fly was up near the Shattree, on the road up to the Shattree, and we'd go there with our little model airplanes that we'd made up, but we sort of flew and they went straight down.
Yes.
And we could see all these, the big boys and the men with their model airplanes, soared away, radio control and all the rest of it. But that was the sort of thing we played with when we were teenagers.
So the planes that you made, how large were they? Are we talking?
Oh, they varied.
Oh,
Very,
Some were little ones, and the little ones were always much too heavy. They were the right shape, they wouldn't really fly. Well, you did get some quite big ones. Now, I remember one, I'll never forget it, was called Senator. It was an odd thing, and it had one wheel on a stalk, and the wings went along and went upwards, and that thing really flew. And it had a sort of rubber band propeller, and you sort of threw this thing, it went up and then it glided down, and you hope it landed somewhere where you could go and get it. But as I say, that was a lot of the boys around where I lived were really into that.
Now they've got a little engine one, don't they?
Did we not used to go and buy weights, lead weights to put on them?
Put in their
The
noses.
ones made up with cardboard, weren't they? Well, like cardboard. I mean, you bought the kit, didn't you? You made them up, and then you had a bit of
lead.
you had lead on the toes. This is it, and then you had the thing here with the elastic band, and you used to put that on it, and woof, let it go,
And they used to go down and then 9 times out of 10 break part.
Oh yeah.
They do them with a little motor now, don't they?
Now, I know you said we could have a play while drinking tea. This one isn't going to be made while drinking tea, I don't think.
Yes, I have made these up sort of later on.
It's open now, but it's not made up.
I mean, these are still popular now. I've
Yeah,
got loads of
yeah.
those for my
That's a
son.
new one.
My husband likes making them as well.
What
Classic model making.
Sorry, what about
I've got
puzzles,
a
jigsaw puzzles?
big one that I made not that many years ago.
Are they nice?
Plain
Are they
old-
construction toys? You tell us.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you're building a picture of something. Definitely. Yes.
They do circular ones now.
Yes.
Yeah.
All sealed.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. We haven't made it yet.
Spitfire, yeah, but I remember the Spitfire in Baltimore, so that was it.
Yes.
Spitfire and the Hurricane.
Well, interesting, when I was buying this, I did ask around, I asked the project volunteers, I'm buying Airfix, what should I buy? And everyone went, you've got to buy a Spitfire.
Yeah.
If you think of Airfix models, you think of planes, you think of Spitfires.
Spitfire, yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I say something a bit random?
Oh, do, please. I like that.
remember when, I always say we because I'm a twin and we were always playing, together. When we were younger, if you had a doll, we had dolls that we loved. If anything was wrong with them or a bit broke or something, you didn't just get another one like you do now, just, dispenser. I lived in Worthing and there was a place called the Dolls Hospital. Yes, and you went and you left to get it mended. When it was mended, you picked it up and then that was good to go for...
So there was a dolls hospital in Worthing?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Got elastic band in between the two.
Yeah, and there was a weight on that, wasn't it? So that when the doll laid down, it were toes.
Yeah.
I don't think anything got thrown away
No,
unless
no.
it was totally destroyed.
No,
Everything was
But we didn't
repairable.
destroy things. We
Somebody
weren't
would,
allowed to
somebody
destroy
would
them.
mend it. I mean, that was the thing. That was what Dad's for thought. Here, mend this.
Yeah.
Did anyone destroy their toys? You just said
No,
things that get...
no, I don't think anybody did they?
No, so
They
as
didn't
I said,
destroy them.
nothing was destroyed. You didn't even throw it away when you'd finished with it. And
No,
grown out of
Not
it.
like
It
Christmas.
was passed on to somebody
Yeah,
else.
this is the thing. Yeah.
No.
And they'd be very happy to have it too.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays everything's got to be brand new. Out
I
of
mean,
the box.
even lead,
Oh,
lead animals or lead soldiers,
lead
where you
soldiers.
stuck a matchstick in between if the leg broke off,
That's
or
right,
put them in together.
yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
I think a lot of us have learned how to repair these things ourselves.
Yeah.
So who else remembers any dolls hospital?
There was one in Brighton.
I remember the name of the Dolls Hospital, not that use
I
it.
remember the one down Trafalgar Street, you said, was it? Trafalgar Street. There was one there.
Was it set up?
And they used to have all these dolls in the window. Dolls sort of more like that little one. And some didn't have an eye. You know? And I used to hate it. I used to hate dolls without eyes. I don't know why, but it did. And I remember my cousin who lived they lived at Patcham, where the roundabout and the garage is now. They had a tea shop there. And they, at the top of the stairs, there was quite a large doll sat there. And it had one eye, or I can't remember if it had one eye or no eyes, but it used to terrify me, this doll. I used to hate it.
But Leicester's down George Street. You
Oh,
remember
yeah,
Leicester's?
yes, I do.
We used to have a dolls hospital in there. And I used to be in the back there repairing dolls. We had Easter limbs and everything else like that, yes. Yeah, when I was, when I first started work, this is it,
You
yeah.
worked there?
Yeah, I worked at Leicester's, yes.
Did not have Leicester's down Boundary Road?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
came
but that was a
later on,
base,
yeah, long
wasn't
time.
it?
That was, yes.
It's not there now.
No, it's gone now, yes. The son used to run that one, didn't he, but,
Yes.
They the first toy shop they opened up later on down George Street, didn't they?
Yeah.
But it was the one shop, the furniture shop at the top, wasn't it? So we used to sell everything in there: dolls, prams, whatever furniture you could get, all the furniture and whatnot, beds and everything.
Yes, I remember that.
But that brought back to me then, when you're talking about the dolls hospital and all, I can remember we did that, because when the dolls used to come, they used to come in, with a broken leg or broken arm or something, even a head, this is
Yes.
it. And we had a big case out in the back, a little workshop in the back, in the yard there, in the portage, you was out there with the old bands, the elastic, mending them all. Oh dear.
Did anyone have a doll's house? Like one of those,
I did.
all the miniature.
When my father put a little electric little light in there, he bought that at somewhere like the Dolls Hospital, and it was a little light about as round as that little switch, and it was baker light, and you'd switch it on and off, and then it had wires that went to a battery to make the light come on. Yeah.
It's like Gary, isn't it? When you had that garage, you had a little light on and he ate the bulb and I'd take him to the hospital.
Yes, that reminds me, I didn't have dolls' houses, but I had castles.
Oh, yes.
In fact, my neighbour.
I don't know where my father got it from, but he came home once with what to me then was a huge boat, a cargo boat, and you could lift the bits off where the coal went, and Street's still there. There used to be a market in Upper Gardner Street.
Yeah.
And I know my father used to go down there sometimes and come back with all sorts of wondrous things that he bought off the stalls. And I've got a feeling this boat came from Upper Gardner Street.
Yes, I think it is still there. It's Upper Gardner Street, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably more posh now.
I don't know what it is.
They don't have the market there anymore, though, do they? Brighton Station, they don't have the market.
Oh no, not
Is that
talking
good?
about that type.
Yeah.
No, this was some stalls in
Yeah.
Gardner Street you
Yeah.
meant, didn't you? Yeah.
Well, that used to be the thing. Every Saturday, down to Upper Gardner Street, see what you could find.
That was a modern thing you're talking about.
You're talking about castles. I had a castle. It was about that big, I remember now. But I made that myself. All the turrets, you know, and the ramp going up to it and everything. I made that myself, yeah.
Out of what?
They had wood. Just wood. Yes.
Like
Out of wood.
And hammer and nails?
You know, well, you did that with this, yeah.
Where is it now?
Oh,
That's a shame.
well, I spent my son when he was small. He wrecked it. It's funny you bring it. It brings all the memories back. Doesn't it? You say when you're talking, it does. Yeah. You think you've got nothing to say, don't you? It's amazing, isn't it?